All right, guys, stay tuned, and we're going to get into some great recommendations on your real estate photos.
You better get fired up.
Guys, happy Monday. We're here every single Monday with What's Hot, where we talk about the hottest things in today's real estate market. Today, I want to get into photos, man. If you're looking at $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, heck, $1 million properties, it's pretty common to see photos that are taken by an iPhone, or they're taken where you see somebody in the reflection of the mirror, or you just think, oh my gosh, this is an asset worth 6-7 figures. Why do the photos look like this? A photographer costs maybe $200-$300. It is the best investment that you're going to make when you're selling your home, right? And if you get a great realtor, most top realtors are going to be paying for that photography anyway, right? But if you're selling it yourself, you're still going to want some great tips. So here's some great tips for you. Number one, use all white light bulbs throughout the house. Okay. Whenever you see, well, I guess one tier under that would be yellow light bulbs. It looks a little bit dated, a little bit older. It's a little bit more, I don't know if I want to use that word. It's not as bright. Okay. It's not as attractive to somebody walking in. Even worse than that is some white and some yellow light bulbs. And even worse than that is some missing light bulbs. So you want to get in and make sure that you've got all your bulbs in. They're all bright. They're all white. Okay. That is going to make you look tip top. Number two, no sign of pets. You love your dog. You love your cat, but you're going to have people who don't like dogs, don't like cats. I had a grandpa. I can't believe it, but he didn't like dogs, right? So every time he came over to our house, he was just so upset that that dog was there. And I've had people before that don't like dogs, don't like cats. As soon as we walk in and they see a dog dish or they see a dog toy or whatever it is, whoop, 360, that wouldn't make sense. 180, and let's get out of there, okay? So in your photos, your goal is to attract showings. And who cares if that person is tall, short, fat, skinny, funny, not funny, likes pets, don't like pets? It doesn't matter. What matters is getting your place sold for top dollar with the best terms to you in the way that you want to sell it. That's the goal. So get the dog dishes out of there. Get the cat toys out of there. Get those tall cat towers that you see in the corners of living rooms out of there. The kennels out of there. Is it inconvenient? Is it tough? Yes, it is super inconvenient. But again, you've got to decide between trying to make top dollar and trying to get top convenience. You pick, because one's going to cost you the other. Top dollar is going to cost you convenience. And if you want convenience, it's going to cost you top dollar. So you got to pick what you want. All right. Number three, open up the windows when possible. When I say open up the windows, I don't mean literally opening the window. I mean removing the shades or moving them to the side if they open like this, pulling them up if you've got, the pull shades. If you've got plantation shutters, crack them open. I want to see the plantation shutter. They're beautiful, but crack them open. Why? We want as much natural light in there as possible. Okay. Now, I say when possible because sometimes on the left or right side of your home, maybe even on the back side of your home, you've got a really bad view. I've got a condo right now down south that when you look out a certain window, you're looking at a ton of telephone wires and a big dumpster in a parking lot. Not overly attractive. So for that one window, yeah, I keep it closed. Okay, we put the shades over it, but every other window open. All right. A lot of times in photos, if I'm in a specific bedroom and we got small lot lines, so the next door neighbor is 3-4 feet away from you, I might not leave that window open. That's the rare case. But other than those cases, I want as much natural light coming in through those windows as possible every single time. All right. Next, declutter the fridge and the countertops. Those are the two things I see cluttered the most, right? There's more, but those are the things I see cluttered the most. So on the fridge, get rid of it all. Leave nothing on your fridge. When it comes to kitchen countertops and bathroom countertops, the goal is nothing. But if you've got to leave something there because it's so inconvenient for you, I say one thing per area. So if you've got an island and then you've got, a back row of countertops next to your stove, maybe you can keep one thing on the island and one thing next to the stove. Try not to make it something that is not attractive. So a bowl of fruit, pretty attractive. A toaster that hasn't been cleaned in 3 years, probably not your best option, right? When you go into a bathroom, nobody wants to see your soap that you've touched, your toothbrush. They don't want to see that stuff. So again, if you've got one candle out, maybe that's okay. But if you've got toothbrushes or anything like that, and that goes into the shower, man, get all that stuff out of the shower. Get your soaps out, your scrubs out, your shampoo, conditioner. I don't know what all those things are, but I know my wife has like 20 different types of soap. Get them all out of there. Get your towels, your scrubbers, your washcloths, all of it out of there. Nobody wants to think about you scrubbing your body in their possibly future shower. They want to think about themselves in that shower, in that bathroom, in that bedroom, in that kitchen, not you. So get that stuff out of there. Inconvenient, unquestionably, but are you going to sell your home for top dollar? Yes, you are. And I think that's the goal for most people, right? All right, next, remove kids' toys. A lot of times, either in a second family room or in a bedroom, you'll see kids' toys everywhere. Sometimes I'll walk in and for photos, the sellers will just push them to the sides of the wall. It really takes away from the focus of the room itself, and you focus on the stuff, and the stuff takes up room. It makes the room feel more constricted. It's not as big, right? So get that stuff put away. Is it inconvenient? 100%. But again, you've got to ask yourself, what do I want more, convenience or top dollar and selling quicker? You pick, but I'm usually going with selling for top dollar and getting it sold quicker. Get that stuff in some bins and tell little Jimmy you're going to play at the park for the next couple weekends instead of staying home and playing with toys, okay? All right, next one. If you've got carpet, there is nothing more attractive, nothing that screams we maintain our home perfectly than walking in and seeing perfectly vacuumed vacuum triangles in that carpet, man. You see it in every single model home. And if you walk into a resale home, right, where somebody already owns it and you see that, you might not even think about it with awareness, but subconsciously you're thinking, wow, this is sharp. This is a nice house. This is a house that is well maintained. Maybe the AC is 9, 10, 11 years old. Man, I'm a little bit more comfortable with that now. Maybe the roof is 15, 16 years old. Man, maybe I'm a little more comfortable with that now. Does that even mean anything with the AC or the roof? Probably not, but it's that feeling that you get as a human being who has biases in your head because you see that simple thing. How long does it take to put those vacuum triangles in? Probably takes you longer to pull the vacuum out and put it away than it does to vacuum the triangles, right? It's a couple minutes, no big deal. When I sold my home in Washington State, I think I'm making this up, but I want to say we had 31 showings. It was a lot of showings, and it was in 3 days. And literally, I was staying at a friend's house 3 doors down in between showings. I got my family a hotel room for 2-3 nights, and I stayed with him in between every single showing. I went in and vacuumed new triangles, every single showing, and we sold for $30,000 over asking. And that was in 2019. It was a good market, but it wasn't a crazy market. It wasn't 2021. I don't think that would have happened had we not done that little thing, right? All right, next, clean your pool. I can't tell you how many times I walk in and there's a home that's valuing their pool at 40, 50, 60, 70,000 additional dollars, but you look in it and it's murky, or it's green, or it's got clumps of dirt on the bottom, or it's got leaves floating on the top. Right? Get rid of that stuff and pay somebody a mere, I don't even know what it costs to get your pool cleaned. I know my guy charges me about 100, 120 bucks a month. So divide that by 4, you're looking at 25, 30 bucks a week for a one-time cleaning. Are they going to do it for that amount? Probably not, but I would guess you could get a cleaning for $50, $100, $150. Wow. Is your pool going to look a lot better? And you do not want to do it the day before photos. Sometimes it takes those chemicals days, maybe weeks to get up to snuff. So depending upon how bad your pool is, you're going to want to plan for this a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks ahead of time, right? If you want a great timeline, something you can really depend on, get the pool guy out there early and say, hey, to clean all this up, how long is it going to take? And they'll tell you, oh, this is 2-3 days, or this is going to be maybe a month, right? That way you've got an idea of how long it's going to take. All right. We got a comment here. Let me check the comment. Oh, Charlie Clampett. That's my photographer. He said light bulbs. Buddy, I agree with you 100%, man. You got to get those light bulbs in there. All right, next. Minimize your large furniture. There is nothing more unattractive than walking into a beautiful home that perfectly fits what you want, and you've got that enormous L-shaped couch literally 3 feet in front of the front door, and it's blocking you. You have to go left or right. You can't go straight because you got the big old couch there stopping you, right? So get that big, bulky furniture out of there. You want your home to feel like it flows easily from room to room. It's huge. It's spacious. It's easy to get around. My gosh, it's great. Look at all that natural light. The furniture seems so small. My gosh, this room is so big because you've gotten the big furniture out of there. Also, when you're walking into bedrooms, whichever way the door sways open, that entry wall, right? So let's say the door's flowing this way, that would be this wall. I want to make sure there's no major furniture on that wall, no bed, no dresser, no nothing. Get that wall open because that's the first wall they're going to see. You want that to look big and spacious. If you got a big old dresser there, it's going to take up a lot of space, and instantly that big bedroom you might have feels a little bit constricted, right? So let's get that big, bulky furniture out of there when possible. Next, Charlie's going to like this one. Turn your fans off. You'll see it in photos. You're looking at the photos, you're like, okay, these are pretty good photos. All of a sudden you get to a room that's got a ceiling fan and you see the blur of the fan, right? That's because they didn't turn their fan off. So get the fans off, lights on, fans off, windows open, and boom, you're going to have some great photos. Mow your lawn. And you want to mow it maybe 2-3 days prior, right? You don't want grass clippings and everything all over your sidewalk and your driveway and everything else. But give it a good mow, make it look sharp. Man, if you do that diagonal cut and then you come back the other way, that looks even better. Make sure everything is looking good outside. Get some fresh mulch out there. Plant some fresh, bright, vivid flowers out there. Trim your bushes, trim your trees. Pick up your sticks, rake if you've got leaves in the yard. Whatever it takes, man, one weekend of just freshening up your outside is going to do wonders for your house. Again, going back to that home sale I had, I remember between every single showing, I would go and I'd vacuum up all of the vacuum triangles, and then I had a row of bushes along my driveway, and it had mulch in there, and I made sure all the mulch, because it was a little windy, right? It would blow some of it onto the driveway. I'd push it all back in, so it was a perfect line, because I wanted people showing up and being like, wow, this place is magnificent. Not, wow, this place is really nice. It is magnificent. And to create that, I've got to pay attention to the little details, all right? Power wash, this is the last one. Your roof, your siding, your sidewalks, your driveway, and your pool decking. Get it all power washed, okay? You've got to have a friend who's got a power washer. Grab that thing, take it out. It'll take you an hour or two. You can get the whole thing done, and man, is your place going to look sharp. Get that done a couple days beforehand so that all the splattering, because you're going to be doing it and you're going to get some dirt splattering up. You're going to have to clean that. You're not going to want water sitting anywhere. Give it a couple days, right? So if you're listing it on a Tuesday, get all that done on Saturday. Get the mowing done maybe right before you do the power washing so that you're not getting clumps of grass and everything up. Make that place look spectacular. Now when people come in and they're taking photos for you, you're going to get the best photos of everything. Everything's going to look sharp. It's going to pop. And when people see those photos, holy smokes, are they going to be excited to come and see your home? And obviously, the more people that see your home, the more people that are going to present offers. The more offers you get, the better chance there is for multiple offers. And multiple offers leads to greater prices. Not only greater prices, but better terms. Sometimes we're not even trying to beat you up on money when it comes to multiple offers. We just want you to improve your terms. Instead of a 10-day inspection, let's get it down to 5. Instead of a 30-day window to get your loan committed to, let's get it down to 20, right? All those little terms are going to help you, the seller, out. And if we can get multiple offers by getting more showings because our photos look better, that's going to be helpful. Guys, thanks for joining me. Again, we're here every single Monday on What's Hot at 11 o'clock, where we talk about the hottest things in the real estate market. If you've got an idea you'd like us to touch on, feel free to put it in the comments or send me a private DM, and I'm happy to do it. Have an amazing Monday and an even better rest of your week. Take care, guys.